Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm Shane.
And I'm Erica. Today we're taking another journey, with our friend Kecia from Kecia's tour life.
Right.
If you follow her blog, she kind of takes us along for the ride.
Yeah.
Music, travel, food, all sorts of experiences. It's great stuff.
Yeah, it really is. And this deep dive, well, it's specifically focused on a concert Kecia wrote about recently, seeing the legendary Dougie Fresh live.
Mm-hmm. And this was, super recent, back on March 22nd, 2025, at the Hard Rock Casino in Cincinnati.
Okay. So our mission here is to really get into Kecia's experience, what she felt, what she saw firsthand at that show.
Yeah.
And then sort of connect that back to the broader history and, honestly, the incredible legacy of Dougie Fresh. We've got her blog post and some background info on him.
Exactly. So what can Kecia's experience seeing him live now tell us about this absolute icon of hip-hop and, the enduring power of his performance?
Good question. Let's jump in.
All right.
Okay, so diving into Kecia's post, it's titled Cincinnati's Hip-Hop Block Party with Dougie Fresh.
Love that title already.
Right. And she sets the scene immediately, calls it the show of all shows, which is pretty big praise, especially since it was her first time seeing him.
Wow, first time. Okay. And she doesn't waste any time making it clear this was a super high energy event. Right?
Totally. She even uses that classic hip hop phrase, let me clear my throat before describing the vibe.
Ah, nice touch.
Yeah. She says, no sitting, no standing still, just nonstop dancing, rapping along, and hands in the air like we just didn't care.
Okay, so you can just feel that energy reading it.
Absolutely. That description really jumps off the page. It sounds like she was totally transported. She said she felt like she was vibing at a summer block party from the 80s and 90s.
That's cool. And she calls out his reputation directly, too, doesn't she? The world's greatest entertainer.
She does. Yeah. And what's fascinating is how her immediate reaction, totally validates that huge title for her.
Right.
She says, all I know is the man can and did put on the show of the year.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful praise from a first-timer.
Definitely. Saying it was the show of the year. And she uses words like, what was it? Unmatched for his energy.
Yeah, unmatched energy, impeccable skills, and legendary ability to keep the crowd hyped. Mm-hmm. It really sounds like his live performance completely lives up to that decades-long hype.
And speaking of skills, Kecia mentions a highlight, Dougie Fresh, showing everyone who the real Dougie is.
Oh, yeah, the dance.
We hear about the dance, of course, but the sources we looked at confirm, he is the original Douglas Davis, born back in '66 in Barbados.
That original part is so key, isn't it? Mm. He wasn't just an early hip-hop artist. He was a genuine pioneer, especially known for those groundbreaking beatboxing skills. That's where he got the title, the original Human Beatbox.
Yeah, creating all those rhythms and sounds just with his mouth and voice, it really shaped a fundamental element of hip-hop. It's hard to overstate that.
Totally. He started performing, early 80s?
Early 80s, yeah. But really hit it big around 1985. That's when he formed the Get Fresh crew.
With DJs Chill Will and Barry B.
Right. And a rapper known back then as MC Ricky D, who, we all know today as the one and only Slick Rick.
Such a legendary lineup.
Yeah.
And their tracks from that year, 85, they are absolutely foundational hip-hop classics. We're talking This Show and La Dita D.
And Kecia explicitly mentions both of those were in the set list that night. She calls the show iconic.
As it should be.
Right. And La Dita D, she said, had everyone trying to rap along. Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
And our background info confirms that track isn't just a classic. It became one of the most sampled songs in music history. Ever.
Think about that for a second. His original creation became the literal building blocks for countless other artists.
Across genres, too, not just hip-hop, for decades. It's pretty amazing.
It really just underscores how deep his roots and influence go.
Yeah.
His debut album, 86, was called Oh My God, showcasing that beatboxing. Mm-hmm. Then, in 88, his follow-up album was literally titled The World's Greatest Entertainer. He put it right out there.
It just shows his reputation isn't just some historical footnote. It's something he actively embodies on stage, even now.
And his influence? It also extends beyond his own records, right?
Yeah.
The sources credit him with helping nurture other huge artists.
Yeah, people like Slick Rick, obviously, but also P. Diddy, Biz Markie.
Wow. And his list of collaborations is just staggering.
It really is. Tupac Shakur, the Notorious B.I.G., Eminem, Dr. Dre.
Chaka Khan, Prince, Stevie Wonder. It's just a who's who of music legends.
That incredible roster, it just highlights the respect he commands, not just within hip-hop, but across different eras, different genres.
Definitely.
And the sources also note some pretty significant firsts for him, like being the first rapper to perform in Africa.
Oh.
And the first to perform at the United Nations. Little details like that really solidify his status not just as an entertainer, but as a, significant cultural figure with global reach.
Yeah, that UN one is interesting. Even his later album, the one from 2020, this was for Chuck Brown.
Right, the go-go connection.
Exactly. It shows his connection to other influential artists and genres, demonstrates he's still engaged with music history, with the community.
So, bringing it all back to Kecia's night in Cincinnati, she says she didn't really know what to expect going in.
Right, first time seeing him.
But he exceeded every expectation and then some. That's a direct quote.
Felt that.
And she specifically mentions loving hearing those classic tracks live, Let Me Clear My Throat, which she calls an instant party starter, obviously. Right. The show, La-Di-Da-Di, and naturally, Teach Me How to Dougie, because, as she puts it, duh.
Makes sense. But, okay, amidst all that glowing praise, she did have one complaint, didn't she?
Ah, yes. The length. Just 1 hour.
Yeah, she said it was way too short. Just when we were really getting warmed up, it was over. Yeah. You can feel the disappointment there.
Totally. But even that short set clearly left a huge impression. She asks herself if she'd see him again, and it's an immediate, absolutely.
So she's converted. A new concert fan.
Yep. And she plans to come prepared next time, lyrics memorized and everything.
Okay, so this raises a pretty interesting point for you, the listener, to think about. You've got an hour-long set from a pioneer who started back in the early 80s, performing tracks mainly from 1985. And it can still generate such overwhelming energy that it turns a first-time attendee in 2025 into an instant, massive fan.
Yeah.
What does that tell us about the enduring power of those specific tracks and maybe his unique performance style?
Well, it speaks volumes, doesn't it, about the lasting impact of those foundational hip-hop moments and just the distinct talent of someone like Dougie Fresh.
Right.
Kecia's experience really captures it perfectly. She sums it up like, hip-hop history, energy, and pure entertainment in one night. Sign me up again.
It's more than just hearing classic songs on a record.
Oh, definitely. It's like experiencing a piece of that actual 80s block party history she mentioned.
Yeah.
But brought to life, with full force, right now, today.
His innovative beatboxing, that dynamic stage presence.
Yeah.
They aren't just facts in a biography you read somewhere.
No, they're still palpable forces, still capable of transforming a modern casino venue into this vibrant celebration of hip-hop culture. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so let's kind of recap where we landed. We've taken this deep dive into Kecia's first-hand account of seeing Doug E. Fresh at the Hard Rock Casino, Cincinnati.
Really getting a feel for that incredible energy and, the undeniable talent she witnessed just recently.
And we've connected that experience, her immediate reaction, to the rich historical context of his career.
Right. From his pioneering beatboxing, the original Human Beatbox, and those foundational classics like The Show and La-Di-Da-Di,
to his influence on so many other artists, and that enduring status as the world's greatest entertainer, which Kecia confirmed firsthand.
Yeah, her experience at this recent concert powerfully reinforces his lasting reputation and the enduring impact of that whole pivotal era of hip-hop. If you want to read more about Kecia's adventures in music, travel, and her take on other live events, you can check out her blog at keciastourlife.com.
And she's also active on social media. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search for Kecia's Tour Life.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
See ya.
See you next time.